Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. For many years, Bleu de Chanel has reigned supreme, at least many people would agree, as the king of the freshies, the king of the blue genre of fragrances. Is it quite possible now though that something has come along to topple it from its long-standing superiority over the generic shower gel basic derivative blue freshie? The fragrance that I'm referring to is of course Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau De Parfum. The Y Eau de Toilette was met with a lot of praise. So when we return, we're going to take a close look at Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau de Parfum and see if it is in fact a contender for King of the Freshies, where currently Bleu de Chanel reigns. That and more when we come back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. That's right, today we're talking about another blue fragrance. A lot of people are kind of tired of the blue fragrance exodus, you could say, because it seems like every designer or niche house comes out with a fragrance to try to please the greater majority of people as being a quick, easy grab in the heat of the summer, specifically something that maybe works well in high heat, but something that everyone likes. So you know when someone is referring to the blue fragrance genre, it's going to be something that is always pleasing to the nose. Nothing going to be challenging, nothing that's going to be strong or pungent or aggressive or super different or unique. However, in September of 2018, Yves Saint Laurent, heretofore known as YSL, because I'm not going to keep saying that way, released a blue fragrance called Y Eau de Parfum. Now this is a flanker to the Y Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum being an intense, just like most Eau de Parfums or EDPs, an intenser, more richer, deeper, darker experience. But is it the same in terms of the scent profile, aka the DNA of the Eau de Toilette, or is it a divergence? So when Y Eau de Parfum was released in September of 2018, Dominique Ropion, who's the master perfumer who created it, had in mind, you know, when a fragrance is released, there's usually some form of a concept that the fragrance is going for. And in this case, there's a type of outfit that YSL is historically known for being a traditional YSL outfit, and that is a black jacket, white t-shirt. Sophisticated yet laid back. It's almost like a look that fits almost every scenario. So it's very unique, but very versatile, just like the fragrance. So they wanted that fragrance to kind of meet with that concept, open it up to a new interpretation, and thus Y Eau de Parfum was launched. The composition is considered deep, fresh, woody, and masculine with spicy, somewhat fougere features. So what we're going to do today is we're going to unbox Y Eau de Parfum. We're going to take a close look at the presentation and then take a deeper look at that juice to see if it might be something, again, that can knock Bleu de Chanel off its throne, or at least crawl up there right beside it and say, hey bud, let's tag team this thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out that presentation. So one of my favorite parts about doing a presentation for a fragrance is stepping back in front of the camera after I've sprayed 2 sprays. And if it's quality, at least I've noticed, this seems to be historically true, if it's quality, it still stays in the air for a good 5 minutes or more. And wow, this is really smelling very pungent. Pungent has kind of a negative connotation. By this, I mean, it feels like this fragrance has a Muhammad Ali punch, like a really, really good kick. That would be MMA. So I don't know, McGregor kick. I'm really liking what I'm smelling so far. It's almost like I don't have to put it on a tester strip, but we're about trying it out on tester strip as well as skin. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Now, the bottle is typical for the Y line. However, if you notice, it's deeper, it's darker, so it's like a deeper blue. It is richer looking, just like the fragrance is going to be. And it's representative of that black jacket and that kind of the white shirt. So you've got that black, or almost black, like a black blue dark look. So still has that nice Y wrapping around the bottle. That is pretty cool. I've always really enjoyed that portion of the logo that they've graphically taken and embedded into the actual bottle presentation. The lid is the same, so everything is pretty much the same. The bottle is nice and square, fits really nice in the hand. This, of course, being the 100 ml bottle. Let's talk a little bit about the notes as we spray it on the tester strip and let it dry down a little bit. There we go. That is so delicious. You know, my mother once told me years and years ago that you can tell a book is going to be good or bad by the first sentence in the book. So I would always, like in Walden Books or Books A Million or Barnes & Noble, the first thing I would do, I even do it to this day, I'll pick up a book and I'll go to chapter 1 or the prologue and I'll read the first sentence. And it's usually a hook, grabs your attention. Definitely fragrances are very similar, especially in the top. The top notes are bergamot, ginger, and apple. So you'll notice right away that Y Eau De Parfum is very intensely fruity. It is a good kind of fruit though, almost like a candied fruit, because of that apple. And so you've got that apple and you've got the bergamot, which is very bright and just a hint of green. And of course with the ginger really makes it pop right off. So ginger gives it kind of an effervescent or ebullient kind of bubbly feel to it, almost like a champagne. A similar feeling you'll get from this is Coach Blue. Coach Blue also has that kind of effervescent feel due to the absinthe that kind of makes it pop as well. So the heart accords in Y Eau De Parfum are sage, juniper berries, and geranium, resting on a base of vetiver, cedar, tonka, amber woods, and olibanum, or olibanum, however you want to say that. So now that I've enjoyed it off a tester strip, let's go ahead and try it out on skin. I've got something there, but I don't have anything there. So kind of a problem when you review more than one product in a given day is you run out of body space. You got to take another shower. I've taken as many as 3 showers in a single day to review fragrances appropriately without having the fragrances leach into each other and mess up my nose. So while I'm letting that dry down, I can tell right away that this is an incredible fragrance, and it is very much similar to Dolce & Gabbana's The One Eau de Toilette and The One EDP. One thing that people were afraid of is when the EDP was released, they were trepidatious about going on a divergent, going in a completely different direction than the Eau de Toilette. But we were all very pleasantly reassured that it is exactly the same scent profile, just richer, deeper, darker, more intense. And it's the same with the Eau de Parfum version. So if you don't have either of Y the Eau de Toilette or Y the Eau de Parfum, but you're thinking about getting one, you probably want to get the Eau de Parfum. You just want to go straight to the richer, deeper, darker version. There's not really any reason for getting a lighter version of something unless it's just what you want because you're going to be wearing it as a signature scent in the office. Now, this is something that you can definitely wear around other people in close proximity, but you're going to want to be aware of how many sprays. Dial it back a little bit if you're going to be really close to people. Some people are very sensitive to fruity or sugary or slightly synthetic, which this comes off not necessarily as synthetic, but in the open, specifically if you are 5 minutes away from work and you spray 10 sprays on and you go straight to work and you're there in less than 10 minutes, you're still opening up. There's no dry down. And when you walk into a room, you're going to clear it. People are going to be like, whoa, you smell like you bathed in whatever it is you're wearing. It's not going to be a positive experience for them or for you. So just dial it back if you're going to be, again, within really close proximity of people. And of course, with the pandemic and the whole 6-foot injunction, probably not going to happen, but it's just something to keep in mind. So many combinations of things and right in this, and I get why people are disgruntled by another blue fragrance that's just people pleasing. But what you've got to keep in mind is designers live to please people. They create fragrances that smell great. to the greater majority of people. I mean, think about it. If you were a novelist, let's say you were a writer, and you could choose how popular your book would become. Would you want your book to appeal to a very small group of intellectual, cerebral-minded people, and you could choose that path, and you could meet up with them at the coffee house and have 2 or 3 hour talks about the meaning, the metaphysical and metaphorical meaning of your literary work, but you've ostracized everybody else with your vocabulary and a confusing plot? Or would you go the route of pleasing nearly everyone and thus selling more books and assuring yourself future success under that same umbrella of, well, they released this, so this must be good? Success is riding on the coattails of the previous success. Very common for designers. So when this was released and people smelled it, they were like, oh yeah, that smells really good, but it smells like just a fruity blue fragrance that's really strong, and okay, there's no bad there. There's nothing negative. Allow yourself to be okay with liking something that a lot of people like. That doesn't lessen your intelligence. It doesn't lessen who you are as a human being to like a fragrance that a ton of people like. It just proves that this is a good fragrance. So again, is it as good as Bleu de Chanel? I don't know. Bleu de Chanel to me is so refined, near niche quality of a blue fragrance. It definitely is, like, if you don't like sweet fragrances, you might not like this because it is very fruity sweet. Now some of that sweetness does dial back the more that it dries and the more that it dries down. In fact, right now on my skin, what I'm getting is a little bit of fruit, some ginger, and some warmth coming in with that amber. I'm getting a very woody, and some aspects of the composition are fougere-like. This is a very woody, very masculine, lightly sweet fragrance, and I really, really like it. This is one of those fragrances that is hyper versatile. It does not stigmatize itself or stick itself to a particular season. Yes, it is a blue fragrance. Blue fragrances are slated primarily for spring and summer, but as a signature scent, you can literally wear it year-round. Keep in mind, something like this in extreme cold is probably not going to do that great. In extreme heat, it's going to be a little bit cloying. So find a happy medium, between 45 degrees and 75 degrees, something like that. So you literally can wear it year round. It is appropriate for every occasion. Just like the concept that went into creating it, that black jacket and t-shirt, it could be a t-shirt and jeans, but you can also wear this to a job interview. You can wear it to an upscale event. You can wear it to a formal or semi-formal event. It really lends itself to open interpretation. It's probably not something that you would want to rock out, at least with heavy sprays, in a boardroom or a think tank meeting. As for me, I absolutely love Eau De Parfum. It is definitely going to be one of my favorite, if not really nudging extra close to Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel's been reigning for a long time as the king of blue fragrances. It's time for some new blood, so he might be crawling up there on the throne, sooner rather than later. But at least it's a contender, and we need new contenders out there to push the boundaries to get some other companies opening up their eyes, opening up their designs. There's nothing like competition to actualize creativity. So that's what we need in the fragrance community, is more new and unique blue fragrances. And I think this is unique enough, even though it is one of those mass appealing, crowd pleasing fragrances, it still has a relatively unique DNA. So this might be an alternative for all of you Sauvage wearers out there, and it doesn't scream I want to get laid at all, at least not yet. We'll have to wait and see where it's heading, but I definitely think it's of a higher quality or a higher class than that. Well guys, that's it for my unboxing and first impression of Eau De Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this fragrance. If you have any experience with it whatsoever, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and stopping by, and again for supporting me on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.